How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. I also got to put in the disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice. So just know when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. So today we're going to be talking about SOS and EBON. Of course, they showed a lot of strength inside the market today and we're going to be going over it. But before we get started, we have to go into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below in the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're considering to take a position, I suggest you watch the full entire video. So the first thing we're going to be going over is a technical analysis, taking a look at the overall price action. Even though we saw a lot of strength today, we want to know, is it going to continue to look bullish or is it going to be looking bearish as far as the rest of this week is concerned and as well as going forward. Secondly, we're going to be taking a look at the short interest information. We want to know, are there a lot of short sellers in these stocks? Are they pushing the price down? And what happens if they do decide to run up? Are we going to be forcing a short squeeze? We're going to be figuring that out. And then when all of that is done, I will be giving you my final thoughts as well as some more details. So let's get into it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for SOS. So let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing the day at $3.93, being up 5.65% on the day. On the low, it tested $3.77, and then on the high, testing $4.22. So I must say it was great seeing SOS's performance inside the market today, getting to that 422 level. I was telling you guys that I wanted to see a spike before the end of the week or before the end of the month, but I was very looking forward to it, seeing coming by the end of this week, and that's exactly what we got. So anyone who was averaging down when it was in the low threes or even in the $2 range, I know many of you ended up seeing some green today when it was there. If you took some profits, ain't nothing wrong with that, but I still do see some more room for upside for this stock. If we take a look at the RSI down below, it is still around 53, so it's right around fair value, and this is why I feel like it still has a lot more room to move. As far as taking a look at the price action, it is well above the 200-day and also the 21-day EMA. So I want to look forward to seeing this bullish pattern continue so we can actually get up to the 100-day that's here at $4.93. I know if we pass this particular area, we'll have a lot of momentum and easily get into the 5 area. So what are we looking at as far as resistance is for SOS for the short term? Hey, this area right here around 421, 422 will be the area that we need to pass. If we could pass this particular area, then I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this move go into 450, where we'll see some resistance. And if we can get past this 450, I'm looking forward to that next move going to 470 and then making that move reaching the 100-day. So we're gonna have to look forward to see how things turn out. CPI data is coming out tomorrow, so that's gonna add even more volatility. So we're just gonna have to be patient and see what happens. So we're on Fintel. We're going to take a look at the short interest information for SOS. So let's take a look. So short volume ratio is at 28%, and this is taking close of June the 8th. What does this look like? So for market volume, so the amount of shares that were traded, it was at 16.9 million, and out of all of those shares, 4.7 million were actually sold short. If we take a look at the short shares availability, it stands at 1 million, updated 5 minutes ago, and the short borrow free rate is at 14.31%. So that is very significant here. If we compare to what we've seen and taking into consideration June the 7th, where it was at 14.49, it nearly almost doubled. So that means shorts started going in even heavier. So what does this look like? You're going to be seeing a lot more volatility in SOS, but do keep in mind of the fact we did have a strong run up today. So I'm going to be looking forward to see what this short volume ratio actually looks like towards the end of the day when the final numbers actually do come out. But when they do, I'm going to be assuming that there was some shorts that ended up covering some of their positions today due to the strong price action that we saw. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for EBON. So let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $3.57, being up 5% on the day. On the low, it tested $3.45. Then on the high, testing $3.77. So you guys know, just as much as I'm bullish on SOS is the same for EBON. I was definitely looking forward, especially with the run up that we were seeing for EBON, to actually get to $4. And that's another one where I was saying I wanted to see $4 come before the end of the week. We still have some time, but it also does follow up on my other hypothesis saying that I wanted to see it before the end of the month. And if this momentum continues, it will definitely get there. As you can see, it's definitely on a run up. It's showing a very bullish trend here, being above the 21-day EMA. And of course, we're going to be looking forward to seeing it hit the 100 and the 200. But of course, it's going to be met with some areas of resistance. So the next area of resistance to look out for, and it's something that we actually experienced for today, was right here at 377. If we get past that 377 area, I'll be looking forward to seeing us get to, yes, you see it right there, right around $4. We passed $4. I feel like we got to put the jets on. Easily can get right here to around 450 very quickly. So this is part of the reasons why, hey, EBON still has a lot more room to move. And we take a look at the RSI, even down below, it is around 51. So it's right in the middle, right around fair value. So it is not overbought and it is not oversold. And as you can see, it's been beaten down just like many other tech stocks as well. So a run up, I want to see this actually continue. So let's be patient and see how the rest of this week turns out. So we're on FinTel. We're going to take a look at the short interest information for EBON. So the short volume ratio is at 13%. So this is lower than SOS. If we take a look at what this means, so this means out of the shares that were traded yesterday, which was 5.1 million, 692,000 of those shares were actually sold short. And when we scroll down on the page, the short shares availability is at 3.2 million and the short borrow free rate is at 2.77%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we could see it actually went up from what we saw on the 7th, so being at 13.42. As far as for what's been happening today, since we did have a strong run up from EBON, it will be interesting to see what it actually looks like when the numbers come out later today in the evening. So for my final thoughts for SOS and EBON, it was definitely great seeing a spike today inside of the market. I was talking about this in the technical analysis, and you've heard me talk about it in videos, that I was looking forward to seeing a strong run up as far as for this week. We do see that EBON is lagging a little bit behind, but I do see it actually end up catching up. Like I said previously before, these stocks are going to be well above $4 by the end of the month. We are calling it out right now, especially with a lot of the momentum we've seen in SOS. Another thing to also take a look at the fact, when we were seeing the short interest information we see for SOS, it is fairly high, being at 28%, and for EBON being at around 13%. So this is part of the reasons why there's going to continue to be a lot of volatility in both of these stocks. But the great thing about this is, especially if SOS is gaining more momentum and there's more demand and there's a lot of buying of their shares, a lot of shorts are going to be forced to cover. And what ends up happening, we start seeing some strong moves to the overall upside. As for EBON's case, I could still see it going to $4 despite the fact that the short interest is a lot lower than compared to SOS. And the reason being for that is that EBON has been down for quite a while. And I'm seeing that more people are starting to load up on shares. So if we take this and then throw it into the pot along with SOS, this is part of the reasons why $4 minimum should come before the end of June. And if this does end up happening, I know a lot of you had the opportunity to average down because you have a lot of conviction in these plays. Hey, if you want to take some profits, then hey, go ahead and take some profits. But like I said previously, more room for these stocks to run, especially if you're a believer in myself that Bitcoin is going to be hitting 100K. When Bitcoin hits 100K, these stocks will definitely benefit from it. Another thing to kind of go over and to make sure I remind you guys of, we also have the CPI data that's going to be coming out for tomorrow. And it's part of the reasons why you saw a strong sell-off and a lot of volatility inside of the market today. So after the information comes out for tomorrow, we got to see how these stocks are looking, and then we can decide to go from positions from there. For myself, I will not be adding any more. I got my cost average down. Right now, I'm currently green in both of these stocks. But sorry, except for EBON. EBON needs to come back up to that $4 level and things will begin to start looking good. But hey, we know there's going to be volatility tomorrow with the new data that's going to be coming out. So just be patient if you're trying to get into some plays and you have short-term goals. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and we'll be talking real soon.